Hi guys, this is video tutorial for NeutrinoParticles editor, and in this tutorial I want to show you how to create those flies effects in samples project. We will go through all three flies effects. You can see it like slow flies, a little bit faster, and really fast hive. You can find those effects in samples project templates flies. Okay, let's start from creating new effect. In new project, I'll call it flies. And I want to have particles which live forever. So I will remove max lifetime for them. And now we don't have terminators. Termination section is empty, and particles never killed. I'll go to generation section, other generators properties, and set fixed shots enabled, and make only one shot. You can see only one particle shot, and I'll have 30 particles, size 10, and now particles have steady motion with a random vector as starting velocity. Let's change it to motion with forces. And here we have by default directed force, which attracts particles down by 100 by y-axis, and I want to attract particles to 0 point. To make that, I'll change this value, this fixed value, to multi-distribution or multi-value, to be able to make expressions with values, to combine them. So let me change also fixed value to particles position, and now particle position, for each particle its position is force which moves particle even faster frame after frame. If we set minus particle position, we will have directed force which is always turned to 0 point, and you can see particles start to attract to 0 point. Also, let's add some turbulence as another force. And some air resistance. And you can see that particles are disturbed really slowly. So I want to increase animation speed, animation of turbulence. I have 100 by x-axis, 50 by y, and 30 by z. Let's multiply it by 5. 500 to 50 and 150. Also, let's make scale bigger, like 10 times bigger. Turbulence is really strong, And now we need to make the force which attracts particles to 0 point also stronger, 5 times. I'll multiply minus a by 5. And everything became faster. Also, let's rotate particles towards their direction. So, by velocity phased, and all particles become to move by x-axis towards their movement. So now we have something very similar to first fly's sample. Also, I'm not sure that you can see that on video because of recording speed, but flies in samples project are much smoother than flies in my new project, and that's because of sampling rate for the effect. You can select effect, and here is settings for effect, frames per second 30. So effect is simulated 30 times per second. For effects that have pretty fast movement of particles, when you want them to be smoother, much smoother, you better set 60 frames per second, and you will see that the particles become to move smoother. So the next flies effect are simply faster than previous one. To make it faster, as you already saw, we need to increase scale of turbulence, and also increase force which will attract particles to 0 point. And yeah, there is another one point that when you attach this effect to some object in your game, now it won't go after that object because position of emitter is not taken in respect, and to take it, we need to add additional in this directed force which attracts to 0 point. I'll add another one value, B value. A value is particle position, B value, which will be and we need to change it to 3-dimensional value to have all set of three-dimensional values, and change it to emitter position, and to take not only negative particle position but emitter position minus particle position. In this case, force will be directed always to the position of emitter, and you can see that particles become to move after emitter, like flies after something tasty. Okay, now let's move it faster. I'll make scale of turbulence 400, and yeah, it makes a twice bigger influence, and all particles flies too far from the 0 point, so I also increase force, which will attract them to our emitter position. Or you can just play with this scale of this force to have particles fly closer or further from the emitter. Or even faster. Let's make more particles. 100. And we have some kind of hive of particles. Also, you can play with air resistance. Also will increase start velocity, like 800, and effect will start faster. And yeah, we have pretty fast hive of particles. So we need to have such setting and just play with numbers to see what will be result and what do you want. Sometimes you just have something unexpectedly interesting by playing the numbers. So that's it. Thank you. Bye bye.